Hey everybody, I'm Christian.
And I'm Kelly, and welcome to
Off the Deep End.
So today's topic on episode 2 is going to be about attention, what you should be focusing while you're going through high school, just life in general, how to avoid things that are going to take your attention away from what's important, things like that. So let's talk about a little bit what we believe to be important and different viewpoints on that, things like that in high school.
Where should we start with this one? So clearly, obviously, if you're a teenager in high school, what should be important? First thing first, it's clear as day, it's basic stuff. High school, and your mental health as a whole. Like, people surround themselves with so many people in their lives. Like, maybe it's cool to have a lot of friends and be popular and maintain a reputation and stuff. But like sometimes it gets so out of hand where it's like maybe it's all you focus about, or maybe all you focus on how people perceive you and view you. You forget to study or do your grades and stuff, or maybe you'll go home play a video game when you should be studying for a test. This is something that I did every day.
A lot of people find them distracted by a lot of things in life, so we're going to talk about how to avoid those distractions and how to narrow in what you should be doing and what you actually believe is important. Yeah. And so to a lot of people, like Christian said already, grades is, the biggest thing, and that should be a big thing for everyone. Maybe you don't have to be the 4.0 student that your parents and, your teachers want you to be, but as long as you're maintaining good grades, you can have a life outside of that as well. Yeah,
it's something I still need to work on, even till this day. Sure, we're talking about it. You may think that I got it all together. I really don't. But we're gonna let's start this. I have this point of view sometimes in which that I know what I'm doing is wrong, but for example, at today, I slept in more than we should have. So
we're recording 3 hours later than we were supposed to.
Yeah, so while we should still work on this, we can still give insight on what you should do. Maybe you'll take our advice.
Well, Christian should still work on this. Anyway, one other thing that I wanted to add was, everybody says, grades are the most important thing, and when I was in high school, I maintained really, really good grades. But at the same time, there's something to be said for, high school is something a great experience in your life, and you should be going out, having fun, join clubs, join events.
Games.
Yeah, go to football games. Football games are really
I
fun.
messed up on that big time. I enjoy them so much.
And I didn't go for the first 2.5 years of my high school experience. That's what I was gonna say, yeah. And then when I finally started going to them in my senior year, it was really, really fun. I actually started joining stuff, talking to new people, diversifying my friend group, things like that. So it's really important not to just only think about your grades and just also not do anything. Yeah, you need to have
that even balance of good grades and your mental health and social life in that one little bubble. Because with football games, it's a good environment to be in because you're outside of school, everyone's themselves, and I don't give a crap about sports. And that's the reason I didn't go for 1 and 2 years.
Same here.
Because I just didn't care for football. But I didn't realize that half people are going, they're not there for football. They're there to hang out with friends. It's a cool environment. It's very nice to be outside, go to the concession stand, get snacks, hang out with friends, maybe meet some new people.
Right.
It's just nice to get out of the house, and it's a little nice environment with people so.
Yeah, and a lot of people let things get in the way of what they're supposed to be focusing on, like grades. Christian already mentioned video games and technology. It's so easy to get sucked into things today and just not even look at that. And I've heard a lot of people, acquaintances, friends, everybody hits you with the line, "Well, I don't care about high school. It's not important. I'm gonna be doing big stuff. I might as well drop out."
Yeah.
My thing is, it's you could drop out, but what are you going to be doing at 16? You can't even get a job yet. What are you going to be doing? What are you going to be building up to make your life in the future better?
Yeah.
High school is a great thing to actually do and focus on. I mean, it's a big part of life and investing in your future, so you shouldn't just pass it by.
I don't know how else I should can really enforce this. For example, I didn't say this to you, Kelly. Last night, okay. I was just sitting there and I was thinking about how much I had on my plate, and I wrote it down on piece of paper in order to what's really important and etc. And I have a lot I need to get done still. Sure, we're out of school, all that's over, but it's not like when you get out of school that everything's over. Mm-hmm. Your high school stress and stuff is over. There's so much to still do, and I'm just now stepping back and thinking about it, and I really am starting to feel it. Last night I was really just thinking about it and reading just all the things I have down on a list, and sometimes that's good. Have all your priorities down on a list, and think about and also they give us to freshman year. I think you even had one in middle school, an agenda. I did not use mine, but I was like thinking about like how good it would be if I had one like last night. I was just thinking like that'd be so good if I sort out my time actually like this for studying. If I actually do what I need to get done, then I could be totally just chill, be able to have time for things instead of putting things off and just maybe taking a nap. Like
yeah, procrastination.
That's my number one thing. Like
and many people in high school struggle with that because
so
teachers give you the work, but they don't tell you like how to do it. Like, when's the last time you took a class that told you how to plan your time?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And some people have parents that already, teach that to them and instill it in them like from the very, very beginning, so it's easy. And they're taking AP classes and everything. But even for normal students who struggle more, a planner can help everyone.
It really can, because you just can like lay out
and see it.
Yeah, because people are like, I won't forget. Well, it's like, okay, sure, you may have a good memory, you may be able to think of it all, but it's like you always space out and miss one thing. Like I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it's just, if you have an agenda, you'll have everything there, and if you refer to it and you look at it, you organize it properly and do what you need to do, you'll have everything done when you need it to be done. You won't procrastinate. You'll feel good about yourself.
You will, yeah. When you accomplish things and you're able to actually cross them off, yeah.
Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, and one of the hardest things to do that is like, it's a little bit more effort to do that than it is to procrastinate. It's so easy to procrastinate. It took us 4 hours to do this, okay? Like
yeah, just like, sitting on camera and making weird
we were
faces.
just sitting here thinking like the topic of today, etc., and what we're gonna do. And like procrastination is still something that we obviously sometimes deal with. Like while I'm definitely not anywhere near to like beating and stuff, I do know what I need to do to maybe like get rid of that. And like last night, like for example, again with the agenda thing and listing it all down, it helped to like take a step back and look at what I have to get done, and it just gave me like a different point of view, and maybe like I'll consider like actually going forth and doing what I need to do.
Yeah, and that kind of I think stems from what we kind of talked about in the last episode of like a bird's eye view. Like, yes, it's very, very easy to get tunnel vision and just see only things in black and white about your life, but just take a second, like think about third perspective. Like, what's gonna happen if I do this? Like, what will I achieve if I do this? If I put my time and effort into this, like, what will I get out of it?
Yeah, it's like, because my whole point of view of life, it's like, oh, it's so stressful and this and that. But like, I remember like a few months ago, life and stuff a lot was way harder for me. Now I'm like in this position which like it's not as bad, but like I still have stuff to do. And like I'm thinking like, well, if I just do this and that, like I should, what do I have to worry about? And then that's like such a relieving feeling. It's like, if I just do these things, then that's it. Like I can feel good. That's kind of like a good feeling to think about, but I have to take the initiative to actually go forth and do it. Like I need to actually like take the mindset, the time, maybe like fix my sleep schedule. Like there's a lot of fixing that can happen, and really I was gonna say it could happen overnight. It just depends on like how determined you are to do it. Maybe you want to have a slow adjustment to it, or like hell, like tonight I could force myself to go to bed at 10, wake up tomorrow and like do what I need to do. Like technically it could be overnight, but like you really would want to have to do it.
Yeah, and the day by day is also really, really important, because a lot of people, if you, let's say working out, right? Like it's really hard to get started because what do you think? It's such a big task. It's gonna take me years to like do anything, like to get anywhere of like such a big like life change, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, people don't understand. Just one day at a time, like that one day that you finally make that change, you can see drastic differences in your life and things that you do, like sleep schedule. Like, let's say you get a lot of homework, right? If you do it a little bit each day, it's not going to be as bad as you putting it off and saying, oh my gosh, it's getting worse and worse every single day. It's going to be such a big chore to do, and then you have 3 hours of homework to do in one night instead of just like 15 minutes here and there.
Yeah, honestly.
And that's why the planner helps that we were talking about. And another thing that will take away from your attention from, completing your schoolwork, doing things that actually matter, things that better your life, is a few things like friends.
Yeah.
Sometimes friends can get in the way. Drama, like we were talking about in the last episode, is an easy way to get distracted in life. Of high school, that's not what is actually important. Drugs. A lot of people today, kids are going to the bathroom, it's like, it's not a bathroom anymore, like, it's just the smoking room, basically. Like in the middle of class, like, are you serious? Like you could be missing like pertinent information. Like what happens if you don't hear when that test is, then you don't know when to study for it.
Yeah, and then you totally just like screw yourself over. It's really bad. It
and
really is.
Also like the games and technology we were talking about, like they purposely make games and things today so you get addicted. Don't let yourself get sucked into those things and just let it take all your time when you could have been bettering yourself the entire time.
And it's like sometimes like it's not just like the things you do where it's like procrastinating and stuff. Like you said, it could be friends and people that you surround yourself with. Like for example, my earlier years of high school, I surrounded myself with kids that really did not give a crap about school, had worse grades you can even imagine. Like, and I do mean bad. So much so that like a lot of them probably got kicked out, etc. Just dropped out of high school. It's really bad. And I associate myself with that, and that reflected onto me. And I kind of just like, oh yeah, forget school. I'll just do the same thing. And that had a negative impact on me high school wise, as I was like lacking credits. I needed like to do like catch up. And thankfully I was very lucky to be given me chances to fix all that, and that's a great thing to have. But like not everyone is lucky enough to be able to like have like a chance or like a good counselor at school to help you out to like fix your grades or like just like do what you need to do, because really a lot of that is majority on you. You shouldn't always like think about other people, or you shouldn't think about like because like there's always this thing that people think about. It's like whenever you see like a car crash or you see like a family member die or someone else, and like say you live in a bubble, you're just like, that doesn't happen to me. A lot of people think that it doesn't happen to you, but it's like, and this can apply to even like school and like grade stuff. You hear like people get kicked out, they drop out, or they get held back a year. You probably think that's not me, it just can't happen to me, because like you think you're invincible, you're young, when in reality like it very much can happen to you, and it's so easy. And like it's a very like thin line that people don't realize that it's very real. And like it can happen to you, like, and if you just slack off or give up, like there's not always gonna be like that support line or like that second chance. Like it's really not always there.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the thing that you're saying, Christian, is why would you take away from your future when you could be investing in your future day by day? Okay, you're cheating yourself out of a good future, a good life, if you just blow like even little things off, because it starts to build up.
Yeah.
And if you don't have those people in your life to correct you, you're the person who needs to do it. You're the person who needs to keep track, keep that agenda, keep that planner, whatever you need to help you. You need to make sure that your attention is focused on what you need to achieve in life to better yourself.
Yeah.
Don't let like little things get in your way, like we talked about.
That was well said.
Yeah, so what to do with your future is another big question that a lot of high schoolers have.
Where are you going to college? What do you want to be?
Yeah, that's what everybody asks you at family gatherings, your counselor, your friends, your parents. That's the small talk that everybody comes up with. And the sad fact is, in high school, you don't know what you want to be.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you it's going to change, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Like, and another thing is, like, people don't know. Like, I was sitting in a room with one of my counselors, and she called a few kids down at once and, was asking everybody, like, okay, like what are you going into, like STEM, blah blah blah, like what do you want to do when you're older, so we can like figure out what classes you should take for senior year. And this one girl was sitting in there, and the only response she said was, I don't know. And she got stuck in a ton of weird classes that I'm sure she wasn't even passionate about. And I was like, well, that was weird, but how is the counselor supposed to help you when all you give her is I don't know?
Yeah, you're not really giving much to go off.
You're not investing. She cheated herself out of classes that could have been great.
Yeah, and like wasted a lot of time.
And built her up. Yeah.
Do you know what you even want to do? Like even now? Like
yeah, I mean.
Oh really?
Yeah, no, I want to do something in the field of like business and psychology.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because I took an AP psychology class at my school, and it was the most like enriching class I've ever took.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. I could not get over it. It's the only thing I think about. I try to apply the things I learned from that class in my daily life every single day. Analyzing people.
I wish schools had more classes.
Yeah,
like
I know,
that.
and like teaching them how to actually live life instead of just
like
material.
I can tell you always like you liked that class a lot. You mentioned like a lot, like everything you learned from it. Like he actually like applied. Like not a day goes by in which I don't hear something from that class, and like. It's not like annoying or anything. It's like some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why can't we have like more classes like that? I'm not about to walk into algebra and be like, dude,
hell yeah.
like, dude, this is just like
I'm ready. What's up?
This is just like Pythagorean theorem, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like, that's not what's gonna be happening. It's just, you don't really apply that to like other life once you're.
And
like,
actually, I've got a good story about somebody who helped me, and it kind of shifted my attention away from myself, but I thought it was the right thing to do. So I had an acquaintance. He was one grade below me. I'm not going to mention his name, but I could tell he was having like trouble in math. I was getting to know him better and better throughout the year. He was new to the school, didn't have very many friends.
Yeah.
And he seemed like a really cool guy. So, I started talking to him a little more. And I found out that he was having trouble in all of his classes, and he had just transferred from a new school, like I said. And at the last school, he was doing really well, but that transfer took his attention away. His family is in distress, things like that. So I offered my help to him. I had good grades in all my classes, so I was like, you know what? Like, you're my friend, like let's get this, like we can get your stuff done. And it was like the last few weeks of school that he told me this, and his teachers were pushing him like, you need to turn this in, or you're going to get a 0, you will fail my class, you will not receive the credit. And so I went over to his house like a few times, and I helped him with papers, rewriting stuff, studying for tests, for makeups, doing homework. I organized these binders for him. We made him a planner, and it was all this little stuff that if he had taken the time to do by himself, like let's say not even at the beginning of the year, halfway through the year, once he noticed that it was going downhill, if he had taken these steps, he could have enriched his future and not cheated himself out of it.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was there to help him, and he brought his grade point average from like a 2.2 or 5 to like over a 3.0 before the school year ended. And I helped him. Yeah, I actually helped him pass classes instead of failing, so then he got credits.
What?
I never told you that story.
He did that?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I helped him with all of it, and it was crazy. And
I think he told me.
It actually like felt good. Like
when
when he came back and he was like, "Dude, I got a B on that test." Like I thought like that I had gotten like an F on, and she let me retake it. I was like, "Dude, nice." And like I actually got to like see his Power School. That's the app that our school uses to check your grades. And you could see it like actually go up, and it would like show arrows and like, oh, like you're doing better, blah blah blah. And I was like, I did that, like, you know, and that shifted my attention away from something, but it was still like, you know, a good experience to have. But friends take away sometimes, and I think another important thing to add on that story is drugs. I feel like were a big thing in the way. And one time I went over to his house, normal night, just had a few hours to study, help him. And we were writing a paper, and I was basically like rewriting it for him. And like taking his advice and input. So it wasn't just like I was writing a paper for him, but that's besides the point. He said, you know, like I need to meet a couple friends like at the park, like right across the street, like really quick. And like I knew where it was going, and I was like, dude, like let's just get this done. Like let's just study. Like you don't need to do this. Like let's just come on. I was trying to motivate him. It didn't really work. The park was like 5-minute bike ride. He's like, yeah, dude, I got an extra bike. Like, let's just go really quick. Like, it'll be back and forth really quick. And I was like, okay, so you promised me you're gonna work on your stuff like right when you get back if I go with you right now. And he was like, yeah, and like I didn't think it was anything serious, like, because he wasn't really letting out much. So he takes me down into his basement, and you know, he pulls out like a couple like things of weed, and he knows I hated like drugs, anything like that. And I was like, dude, this is so stupid. Like, I can't believe you're doing this. Like, I was mad from the start, and he gave it to a kid who was like a grade under him just because he was friends and like he wanted to try. And I was like, look what you did. Like, you're taking his attention away, and it's taking your attention away. Like, this is so stupid. Like, you will never take me to another like little deal like this again or anything like that. Like, that's terrible. And I never helped him a day again.
For the last time you were telling the story, I thought for a second I knew who it was, but I really don't know who this is. Mm-hmm. I thought, what? And
then the next year I wasn't really friends with him, and he was still doing like that kind of like drug stuff, and he actually had to go to the hospital one time because of that. And it's like his grades dipped again after like I helped him and organized him and things like that. And it's so, my point is, it's so easy to let things take away your attention from what's actually important. And he would have had a much more fulfilling and enriched time in high school, I'm sure, if he had not done that kind of stuff, not gotten people involved with that. Like, it's so easy to do that. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Wow. I thought I heard the story, and I was like, except that was something else. I knew that part of the story. All right. What?
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't want to mention his name.
Don't.
Don't get me wrong. He's still a really, really nice guy, but I mean, I feel like that's a good story,
great story
to share.
That's crazy.
Do you have anything like that you could share?
A story
maybe
like that?
Maybe something from your own life. Like, what is something that distracted you from
like school and stuff?
Yeah, like relationships, anything like that?
Oh yeah, no. As if you could. Oh yeah, well, definitely what distracted me from school and stuff was relationships and girls. It was a new thing I was dipping my toes in when it came to like freshman and sophomore year. You know, I was just like getting around like talking to girls and stuff, and I was like, whoa. Cause like me before that, like 8th grade, was like me like, oh my god, should I pass a note? Like
nerdy Christian, yeah.
Like it was like the most basic thing.
On tricks on your arm.
So this girl in middle school, and then it first started like middle school. I had like put like notes in like the girl's locker or something, and like now it's creepy as hell.
Yeah.
But, like back then,
the cute little. Like,
back then it was like it was middle school fine, but like, even then I was just like so like in my head like I'm not gonna get to talk to anybody.
Right.
And then, however, the middle school comes around. No, high school comes around, and then we're sophomore year, and people start talking to me, and I'm like, what? And I start like really like putting forth like all of my time and like resources, like money, and like just to like see these people, you know, I just like say like I had test tomorrow, and say like, okay, say I was dating this one girl, and say it's a Friday, and I can hang out with her either today, Friday, or I can hang out with her tomorrow, Saturday. She's available both days, you know, and I would take a look at that and be like, well, I should be studying for my test. I'm like, I want to hang out with her both days, and then I try to hang out almost every single day, like every single day. It would take up that much of my time, and like, it's so bad, especially how much like I kind of put towards it, and like I really let it consume me and everything else, and it consumed me so much so that like my emotions, like my total mind was wrapped up in these people that, you know, high school was just a place I went to, I didn't think of, you know, I just went there and I sat there in class.
Yeah, it's just required.
Yeah, I just sat there, and the whole time I'd be texting these people or whatever, you know, and then I get out there and I'm like, oh my God, I love you. Like, it's so bad, but like thankfully I moved past that, and you know, it just it really can consume your time if you don't know how to balance it. But it's like you can't. Like with Kelly, with his like first real like relationship stuff, he knows what he's doing. He's really good at that stuff. He knows he's smart when it comes to anything in life, when it comes to these things. But like with most people that aren't as wise as Kelly, okay, your first relationship, you might really value it. What?
No, just like feeding my ego on camera.
Shh. Yeah, I gotta feed the ego. No, but like it's true, because like you were fortunate enough to like be really like wise in that sense to like understand how to go about things. With most people in their first relationships, and I don't think it was just me, like I saw this with a lot of other people, they'll see their first relationship and really all spoil how it's
and I feel like it's important to say that I waited a while before that, and it's also about communication. You can have friends, like not all friends are going to distract you from that, but like, you know, I talked to that one kid about like the weed and stuff, like we can't be doing this, like that's a no-no, and it didn't work out. And like with my, you know, first girlfriend, like we both said like school is more important. We made that promise to each other, like if there's a day we have homework, we're not hanging out. Like it doesn't matter, like school will always come first, and it always did, but my relationship was still good. You know, it's okay to only hang out once a week, like you know, take 30 minutes to text each other, like it's not that big.
Here's what happens your first relationship, you want to see that person every single day like you would your friends maybe, but like if you hang out with that person every single day, every single week, the person you care about, here's what happens. And you're in high school, so you can't like drive, you can't go out and do fun things usually. It's like your relationship basically consists of at school and maybe hanging out at the house every so often. But if you do that and waste it every single day, what happens is it gets boring. And if you're, depending on which person you are, like if it's the girl or if it's the guy, it's like 100% still unwrapped in it. One person's gonna get bored, and one person's gonna be left heartbroken.
Yeah, and another thing is with relationships, that first high school relationship, most of them don't last more than a few months, right?
Yeah.
And in those few months, how much can your grades drop? You can go from all A's to F's so fast. And the question is that relationship and that experience worth it to lower your GPA and chance of getting into 4-year, 6-year colleges, 8 years, you know, for your degree? Is it worth ruining your grades for that relationship? Are you even going to remember their name when you're working in 15 years? Are you going to care? Probably not.
Yeah, it's just because people are young and they want to make the most of what's current. Like, they want to make the most of now, you know? Like 6 years from now, I'll figure it out then. But it's like I want to have fun now. I don't like go out with a girl right now. That's what you're thinking about, and that's what you're just putting aside with procrastinating and ruining everything like along your life by focusing your attention on the wrong things. It's the people you choose to invest all your time with, what's dating. It's the friends you choose to hang out with that are the bad people. Get friends that actually are cool, fun to hang out with, and like
also know how to use their time wisely.
Yeah, and aren't idiots that like smoke and like do all these things. It's best to not surround yourself with those people. And you really just need to focus your time on like what you think should be important, whether or not that's what's fun, you know? Because sure, going out with your friends today or tomorrow or hanging out with your girlfriend will be fun. I'm sure it would be. But like, you can either hang out with them and the whole time had that feeling in the back of your head where you're like,
I have to do this. Don't let it ruin the entire time.
Yeah, and that always would happen to me. I was like, no, they're distracting me. I'm good.
And how much better would it feel if you got that homework done and then you're like, yes, I got it done. Let's go hang out with friends.
Yeah, and you have that whole weight off your chest. You feel good.
And you have nothing to worry about.
Of
course you're going to have more fun.
I know. Yeah, because like you just got not much to worry about.
Reward yourself. Go ahead. Go to that football game. Like, it's okay to take like a few days off every once in a while. Just don't take every day off.
Like a wise lady once said, treat yourself.
Yeah, and in the last episode we talked about red flags, but there's also a lot of red flags in, you know, attention, like what's going to take away and stuff. So it's important to ask yourself, like, how much time is this thing taking away? Like, how much time is this club? How much time is this video game taking away from what I should be doing, right?
Destiny.
So a lot of the times in class, I would finish my work and be like, let's pull out the phone.
Yeah, let's play
and
a game.
90% of my senior year was just me playing games on my phone
Yeah.
and playing Switch and AP Euro with
Yeah.
Roberto. And it was fun, but I'm sure like there was probably a couple things I missed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but I still knew how to balance it enough to the point where I kept my grades up and would still be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like when the teacher's talking, put your stuff away. Like you need to know how to do that. And the red flags are like, are your grades dropping? Are you losing friends?
Yeah.
Like are people letting you know? Are your parents saying like asking you like, what are you doing in class? Are your teachers emailing your parents? Everything like that.
I just moved the camera.
Yes, I see.
So, one thing I like to add is I remember sometimes it wasn't just girls that got me totally wrapped in time. It was games. And like, it's such an easy thing to say, but like sometimes I had that game that I would get fully addicted to.
Yeah.
I would think about the lore of it. I think about every aspect of it. I mean, I'd sit in class and not stop thinking about it. I'd sit on my phone, watch videos on it, and know so much so when I got home, I'd be ready and so ready for
run
it.
home off the bus to play
Yeah,
the game I've done.
aka for me, it was Destiny in middle school, and then Destiny 2 did hit me pretty hard in high school too. Like I was addicted to both games, like pretty hard. Like oh god, I'd be in class and I just would not be stopped thinking about it. I'd be like, oh, how do I do this and that? And I'd like sit there the whole time for like an hour just watching as much as I can. And when I got home, play the crap out of it. Like I legit be sitting in class when I should be learning about math, learning about a video game. Like it's not so like I legit be doing that for like so long. It's so bad.
Yeah, and people's interests can take away too. And I mean, like clubs and stuff, like in sports, like sports will also take away. Like, but
Don't you dare say esports is what you're gonna do, okay? Don't sit there, I'm still doing esports.
yeah,
League of
and
Legends.
sometimes like football and stuff, like it can be a career, but like at the same time, like your grades are also important.
Yeah, just have that even balance. I feel good.
You can't let like clubs and stuff take away from that. And so, we were also talking about your future and your 4 years in college and all that stuff. You need to prepare for what you're gonna do, okay? And you should be learning. Actually, think like, what can I take away from certain experiences? What can I take away from this class? How's this going to better me as a person? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't let high school just cheat you out of like all the fun experiences that it has to offer. So it's smart to go in, have a positive mindset. Like I don't even care if you make your new start like this is a new week, like let's get my stuff together. Every day is a good day to start something new. So guys, let's wrap up today's episode really quick. I just wanted to go over one last thing. It is so important to surround yourself with people who support you and focus your attention on what's important, okay? You need friends, family, counselors, everybody you can to help you. Take advantage of that, okay? Don't just see tunnel view. If somebody tells you something, listen to what they're saying. Listen to their perspective. It's important to take that out of high school, out of just life in general, and at any stage where you are.
Yeah.
So make sure that the people around you are the right people, and that those people are supporting you, and you support them back as well.
Yeah.
So,
By the way, guys, comment down below if you have any advice you want to have you down here. You go in the comments or whatever and like comment like what you think you want the next episode to be, or any feedback or things you guys
yeah, tell us how this episode related to your life.
yeah, did this episode help you? Did you actually take anything from this? And yeah, just letting you guys
Or was anything that we said way too off the deep end for you? We want to hear feedback about the stories we have, everything we said so far. So, guys, thank you for joining us on this week's episode of
Off the Deep End. This has been our little TED Talk. You know what I'm saying? Did you think it went good? I think it went good.
Are you going to say the by the way thing?